And that's real talk.
What's good, Real Talk family? It's your girl Brizzy, and we are back at it again on the channel. Hey, if it's your first time stopping to the channel though, welcome. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy content like this. And without further ado, y'all already know, let's get into it. Alright, you guys, now in today's video, I want to just briefly go over some steps in which I feel like can help you guys boost your credit score up in 2025. It doesn't matter where you are in your credit journey, whether you new to credit or you just rebuilding and repairing your credit. Either way, I feel like this will be a great foundation to start with and just reestablish yourself. Period. Now, in order to boost your credit score real fast, you need to first understand how is a credit score generated and optimized to get those points in each category, which I'm gonna explain in a second. But the first step I believe that a borrower should take is understanding what consists of a credit score and why are these categories important. Now, these categories that consist of our credit score, you got payment history, amounts owed, credit age, new credit, and credit mix. So when we start off, we automatically get 300 points automatically with our credit profile, and the highest we can get, of course, is an 850 or better. But the difference between the 300 and 850 is 550 points, and the way in which you'll do that is you'll subtract 850 minus 300, you should get 550. So when it's coming down to our credit profile and the categories, we want to get as close to 850 as possible by optimizing the difference in the points in every category. So with payment history, which consists of 35% of our credit score, that's 192.5 points. And the way in which you'll do that, you'll do 35% times that by 550. That's how you get 192.5 points. And you'll do that pretty much with every category when you looking at it in a percentage wise. Next one is amount owed, 30% times that by 550. You should get 165 points, and you'll do that all the way through each category. Add them up, you should get 550. But with payment history, this let lenders know basically, are you making on-time payments? Because if you can't pay, these other lenders or institutions back, what makes you think we're gonna give you any extra money? You know what I'm saying? Or why should you even inquire about extra money? You know what I'm saying? If you can't pay what you already have open. The next category you got, which is amounts owed, this is 30% of your credit profile, which is 165 points I said previously, and this is looking at your debt to income ratio. The next one you got is credit age. Now this consists of 15% of your credit profile, which is 82.5 points of your credit profile. Now this let lenders know basically how long have you been using credit. Now the way in which you'll calculate this area is you'll take your newest account and how many accounts you have. You count the total amount of years from all the way to your oldest one. So let's say you got like 3 accounts and your newest one 2, 4, and then 6 with your oldest. Add them all up, you should get about 12 years. Then divided by the number of accounts, which is 3, you should get 4 years. Then last but not least, you have your new credit and credit mix. Now with these two areas, they both are 10% and they are 55 points each. Now with new credit, this refers to recently open accounts and inquiries, whereas with your credit mix, this is a variety of accounts that you have well established, meaning both revolving and installed. Now my second step is knowing where you stand as a borrower in your credit journey. So it don't matter if you are a borrower with no credit or a borrower with bad credit. At the end of the day, it's too much stuff out here for any borrower to basically not leverage to their advantage, because they have products and services for every borrower in their credit journey. So some products for people with no credit can be like starter cards, such as like Discovery, Capital One Platinum, Citi Secured MasterCard, and other cards, that's out there, that's starter cards as well. Whereas people with bad credit can rebuild with products such as subprime cards, nah, I recommend these only if you know this is your last resort. If anything, try to get in with some credit unions, because with the credit unions, they are willing to work with you based off of your relationship. But yeah, some credit unions I recommend is Navy Federal, DCU, Andrew Federal Credit Union, and many others. And as well with the subprime cards, if you know worst kind of worse, you can use cards like Pedal One Visa, Indigo MasterCard, Premier Bank Card, Tomo credit cards, and many other as well too. Now moving along to step 3, which is establishing that foundation for yourself to get yourself to that next level. So when you establishing a strong foundation, you really want to start with just a couple products, so 4 accounts or more. But to get yourself back to rebuilding or just establishing period, just 4 accounts, no more than 5 is good at the most. And you know, after 6 months, you know, all means then apply for some more products. Another thing too I want to touch base on, and it's important to have more accounts, 4 or more accounts. And the reason being is because you don't want to be deemed as someone who has a thin profile, meaning anything like 4 accounts or less, that's considered a thin profile. So an example of that can be, let's say you have 2 credit cards under one institution, you've been banking with them for a long time. Now you go inquire about new money, and these lenders are looking at your credit profile and they see, well, shoot, they only got one bank that they've been banking with for a very long time, but really they don't really have nothing to compare with. And they do what is called comparable credit, and they look and they like, okay, well, we really don't got nothing to compare. Well, we're gonna just give this person around pretty much the same limits on their credit card. So you know, you can't expect a higher limit if you got a thin profile to work with. So having a good credit mix is extremely important, because if you are an individual who are facing this situation, which is a thin profile, then having both revolving and installment loans can definitely make a major change to your credit profile and boost it in a way that is needed. So revolving loans are lines of credit you can borrow and repay repeatedly, and examples of this are like your credit cards and lines of credit, whereas installment loans are fixed amounts of contracts you pay in equal installments over a set period of time. Now examples of this can be like car loans, mortgages, student loans, or personal loans. So a good foundation I recommend for you guys is 4 to 5 accounts, like I said, but only if you like rebuilding your credit or have no credit at all. I recommend 3 credit cards, 1 short-term loan. Now this can be any loan that is less than 36 months. So like, for example, like some credit builder accounts like Self, Ava, and Kickoff. Those are some good short-term loans. And with long-term loans, this can be any loan over 36 months. So like a mortgage, car loan, student loans, personal loan, things like that. Those would consist of a long-term loan. Or if you feel like 5 accounts is too much, you could just start off with 4 accounts. So 2 credit cards, 1 short-term loan, and 1 long-term loan. But the idea is, like I said, to not have a thin profile, so that way you won't be deemed like that to lenders, and it won't be a hard time for you to get to that next level with your credit journey. Last but not least, the final step I believe as a borrower should take in order to boost their credit score is maintaining and optimizing your credit score to the best of your ability. So meaning just basically keeping everything in good standing, making on-time payments, and optimizing each category that consists of credit score, because you don't want to be paying high crazy interest. You don't want to be paying late fees or any of those things, all because you fail as a borrower to keep your stuff in good standing. So just staying in the green is just very, very essential in order to get yourself to that next level. Another key point I had left out too earlier, and I want to say this, is You want to also too with your credit card, stay within that 1 to 3 range percent when it's coming down to reporting your utilization to the credit bureaus when it's time for it to report. And the reason being is because that's the way in which you optimize your credit profile with them credit cards. You want to be in that 1 to 3 range. 10% or below is good too as well, but to really optimize 1 to 3 range, 30% is a no-go because that's considered high risk. So anybody who say, oh, keep your credit utilization at 30%, that's a no-go. 10 below is good, but 1 to 3 range is even better. So yeah, either way, the whole overall message and everything I have said as a whole is just keeping yourself in good standing and knowing how to optimize your credit score to the best of your ability. But yeah, if you guys found value in this video today, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps our YouTube algorithm and new subscribers to find our family. But if you have any questions or anything to the video, don't be afraid to drop it in the comment section down below. But yeah, until next time, you guys, I'll see y'all later.